Big news has arrived for the Gunners. Want all the details? Then follow me until the end of the video. But first, if you love Arsenal, show some love. Subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. Here, we post daily news and behind-the-scenes footage from the Premier League's biggest club. Arsenal proven right on Benjamin Eko decision as Andrea Berta watches Isak saga unfold. As the transfer window enters its most chaotic phase, Arsenal find themselves in a position of rare clarity and confidence. While rivals scramble to resolve high-stakes striker negotiations, the Gunners have already done their business, securing Viktor Gyökeres early and decisively. Arsenal's new No. 14 was signed and sealed even before the end of the club's Asia pre-season tour, giving Mikel Arteta valuable time to integrate him into the squad. With 2 more friendlies remaining before their Premier League opener against Manchester United, fans are already getting a first glimpse of the Swedish frontman expected to lead the line. This calm stands in contrast to the storm unfolding elsewhere. Earlier in the summer, Arsenal were heavily linked with Benjamin Eko, the RB Leipzig striker widely seen as one of Europe's top young forwards. But when the Bundesliga club refused to budge from their €90 million, £78.6 million valuation, Arsenal made a bold, and ultimately wise, pivot. Within 3 weeks, Gyökeres was theirs. The move was swift, strategic, and now looks more justified than ever. Meanwhile, things have gotten messy. Alexander Isak, once a stable figure at Newcastle, has now reportedly opened the door to a move away from St James Park. Liverpool have already had an offer for the Swedish star turned down and are, for now, unwilling to return unless Newcastle's stance softens. But with growing pressure and shifting dynamics, that could change in a heartbeat. At the same time, Newcastle are preparing their own contingency plan, launching a formal move for Eko as a potential replacement for Isak. Their offer of €75 million, £65.5 million, plus add-ons edges closer to Leipzig's expectations, but the deal remains complicated. Brentford's resistance to selling Yoane Wissa, another target, hasn't helped either. Adding to the drama, reports suggest Eko's personal preference is Manchester United, a club that has yet to submit an official bid. If United do make a move, Newcastle could be left scrambling again. And if the Magpies manage to land Eko but fail to offload Isak, especially with Liverpool cooling interest, Newcastle may suddenly face real UEFA financial fair play pressure. It's a tangled web, and one that Arsenal, wisely, stepped away from. While dominoes begin to fall across Europe, Arsenal are back in London, calmly preparing for the new season with their striker already in the building. There's a growing sense that this kind of proactive planning, a signature of Andrea Berta's influence, could make all the difference in a title race defined by consistency and squad cohesion. Inside the club, early signs are positive. Gyökeres has impressed during training and is expected to feature in the upcoming friendly against Villarreal. The coaching staff is said to be particularly pleased with his physicality, pressing, and willingness to adapt, traits that will be vital in the system Arteta continues to refine. At 27, Gyökeres brings both experience and hunger, the perfect blend for a team pushing to close the gap on Manchester City. He's not just a forward Arsenal bought, he's one they chose, at a crucial moment, while others hesitated or played the long game. And that decisiveness, in this transfer window madness, might just be Arsenal's greatest strength. As other clubs enter August weighed down by uncertainty, Arsenal's sense of clarity feels almost rare, and entirely intentional. Andrea Berta's arrival as sporting director has brought sharper decision-making, with less room for drawn-out negotiations or speculative pursuits. This new level of precision in the transfer market is already shaping Arsenal's identity as a club that acts, not reacts. Gyökeres, for all the noise around alternatives like Eko or Isak, fits exactly what Mikel Arteta was missing last season, a direct, physically imposing striker with high work rate and end product. He scored 43 goals in all competitions for Sporting CP last year, and while the Premier League is a different beast, his profile suggests he's built for it. But there's another layer to Arsenal's early business: strategic stability. With Manchester United reportedly still undecided on whether to pursue Eko, and Liverpool trapped in a high-stakes game with Newcastle over Isak, Arsenal can shift their focus toward integration, tactical refinement, and squad balance. They're not chasing panic buys in the final week. They're preparing for titles. That internal focus could prove invaluable. Over the next few weeks, the chaos surrounding striker transfers will likely continue to dominate the headlines. Newcastle may yet be forced to choose between cashing in on Isak or walking away from Eko entirely. If Liverpool come back in, it may trigger a domino effect across the top 6, but Arsenal won't be part of it. They've already moved. This foresight has also reduced pressure on other areas of the squad. With Gyökeres secured early, the club can now focus energy and financial flexibility on finalizing the Eberechi deal, a move that would give Arteta an attacking unit of remarkable variety and unpredictability. If completed, could join Gyökeres and Zubimendi as the third marquee addition of the window, and possibly the most technically dazzling of all. At the same time, players like Emile Smith-Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, and Fabio Vieira are now facing critical junctures in their Arsenal careers. Berta's new regime is not built around sentiment, and should the right offer come in, exits will be considered if they help sustain the club's long-term competitiveness under Premier League and UEFA financial rules. Behind the scenes, the mood at London Coney is described as focused but confident. There's recognition that this squad, with just a few key changes, is already in a better position than it was 12 months ago. And while rivals weigh up whether to spend £80 million on unproven names, Arsenal have locked in players who fit the vision, the values, and the timeline of their project. This isn't just about being early. It's about being right, and giving Arteta the best possible platform to deliver in what could be a defining season. As for Gyökeres, all eyes are now on his unofficial debut this week against Villarreal. If he hits the ground running, Arsenal fans won't just be happy with the signing, they'll be grateful the club didn't get drawn into the chaos elsewhere. Because in a summer full of noise, Arsenal have found something far more valuable: control. Arsenal face harsh reality in £1.15 billion transfer market as Andrea Berta looks to catch up with Liverpool and Chelsea. Arsenal may be one of the Premier League's elite clubs on the pitch, but when it comes to player sales, they're still playing catch-up, and the numbers tell the full story. Since selling Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to Liverpool for £40 million in 2017, still their record outgoing transfer, Arsenal have watched as their Big Six rivals consistently pull in massive profits. In the same period, clubs like Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, and even Tottenham and Manchester United have generated over £1.15 billion through sales of players valued at or above that Oxlade-Chamberlain benchmark. Now, as Arsenal push to land Eberechi from Crystal Palace, they're facing a familiar dilemma: how to raise funds without a marquee sale to ease the financial load. Reluctant to pay full £67.5 million release clause, the club hopes to negotiate a lower fee, but doing so may require offloading some of their more marketable assets first. Names like Reece Nelson, Karl Hein, Oleksandr Zinchenko, Leandro Trossard, Albert Sambi Lokonga, and Fabio Vieira remain on the table, but none are expected to command major fees. Trossard and Vieira might bring in the highest figures, potentially nearing £20 million, yet that still leaves Arsenal far short of the market-shaking sales made by their rivals. To be fair, Arsenal's sales strategy improved in 2024. The exits of Eddie Nketiah, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Aaron Ramsdale brought in a combined total close to £90 million, including add-ons. But still, not a single one of those deals broke the £40 million barrier set 7 years ago. Other notable sales, like Joe Willock to Newcastle for £25 million, Alex Iwobi to Everton for £35 million, and Folarin Balogun to AS Monaco for £34.3 million, have helped keep things ticking over. Still, many critics point to a trend under former sporting director Edu, undervaluing talent. In fact, players like Bernd Leno, Matt Turner, Pablo Mari, Lucas Torreira, and Matteo Guendouzi left for single-digit fees, or, worse, for free. Others like Aaron Ramsey, Hector Bellerin, Aubameyang, Mesut Ozil, and Lacazette were allowed to run down contracts, contributing little to the club's bottom line. Compare that to Arsenal's title rivals. Liverpool brought in nearly £250 million with blockbuster sales like Philippe Coutinho, £142 million, Fabinho, £40 million, and Luis Diaz, £65.5 million. Manchester City raised over £330 million, with high-profile exits including Julian Alvarez, £82 million, Cole Palmer, £42.5 million, and Raheem Sterling, £49 million. Chelsea are in a league of their own, earning more than £400 million from deals such as Kai Havertz, £65 million, Mason Mount, £60 million, and Eden Hazard, £130 million. Even Tottenham and Manchester United, who've sold fewer players, still broke their own records with Harry Kane, £100 million, and Romelu Lukaku, £74 million. In contrast, Arsenal haven't sold a single player for more than £40 million. Not one. And with Andrea Berta now overseeing transfers, that's a gap he'll be eager to close. Berta arrives with a strong reputation from Atletico Madrid, where he secured huge fees for the likes of Griezmann, João Felix, Lucas Hernandez, and Thomas Partey. But can he replicate that success in North London, where top players rarely become available, and when they do, they're often undervalued? Arsenal's best shot at a record-breaking sale might be Gabriel Martinelli, though neither the club nor the player seem keen on a transfer. Trossard is more likely to leave this summer, but his age and inconsistency likely limit his value. So why has Arsenal struggled to sell big? Timing, loyalty, and missed opportunities all play a role. Years ago, they rejected £50 million from Manchester City for Alexis Sanchez, only to lose him months later in a swap deal from Qatarian, one of the club's most lopsided trades in recent memory. Similarly, young talents like Maitland-Niles, Guendouzi, and Bellerin attracted interest at their peaks but were held too long, until their value disappeared. Wolves, for example, had multiple offers rejected for Maitland-Niles before he ultimately left for nothing. Even this summer, interest in Martinelli hasn't materialized, aside from brief rumors of Saudi bids. Offers for Partey and Trossard from the Gulf were turned down last year and earlier this window. Some even wonder whether Ethan Nwaneri might command a high fee down the line if first-team chances don't arrive soon. Could Riccardo Calafiori be the next to attract Serie A interest if Miles Lewis-Skelly nails down the left-back spot? Could William Saliba become a target for Real Madrid if contract talks stall? Those are questions Arsenal may soon have to confront. Because while building a winning squad is essential, becoming a truly self-sustaining elite club means knowing when to sell, and how to sell well. So far, this summer doesn't suggest a record-breaking sale is coming. But if Arsenal are to truly re-establish themselves at the summit of the game, on and off the pitch, they'll need to catch up. And Andrea Berta might be the key to making that happen. Since Andrea Berta took over as Arsenal's new sporting director earlier this year, the club has shown a clearer sense of direction in the transfer market. Unlike previous summers marked by hesitation, Arsenal are now moving with purpose and speed, demonstrating a willingness to act decisively rather than simply react. Berta brings a track record of smart deal-making from his time at Atletico Madrid, where he helped turn promising players into top talents while securing significant transfer profits. Now, he's applying that experience to Arsenal's ambitions, focusing on acquiring quality signings and maximizing the club's financial position. Despite spending over £200 million on new players such as Martin Zubimendi, Victor Gyökeres, and Noni Madueke, Arsenal still face a challenging reality. Their record sale remains the £40 million transfer of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to Liverpool in 2017, and they have yet to match the huge sums their Premier League rivals have generated in recent years. Clubs like Liverpool, Manchester City, and Chelsea have brought in over £1.15 billion in sales since that time, far surpassing Arsenal's returns. This imbalance is significant, especially as Arsenal must carefully balance their ambitions with financial fair play regulations. The futures of players such as Alexander Zinchenko, Leandro Trossard, Reiss Nelson, and Fabio Vieira remain uncertain. Offloading some of these assets, even for moderate fees, could provide essential funds to support the club's ongoing investment in the squad. Beyond just sales, Arsenal face important decisions about contract renewals for key players like Bukayo Saka and William Saliba. Keeping hold of such talents while maintaining financial stability will be a critical test of the club's new management. There is also the question of whether Arsenal can continue adding quality signings like Eberechi Eze without first recouping funds from outgoing players. With competition for places intensifying, some current squad members may find their opportunities limited, potentially making a move away necessary both for their careers and for the club's financial balance. Inside the club, there is growing optimism about this new approach. The combination of Arteta's footballing vision and Berta's market expertise has created hope that Arsenal can finally bridge the gap with their rivals, both on the pitch and in the transfer market. However, challenges remain. Will Arsenal manage to orchestrate a record-breaking sale this summer? Can they find the right balance between reinvesting in the team and maintaining financial discipline? Most importantly, can this fresh strategy translate into sustained success and real title challenges in the coming seasons? This summer feels like a turning point, a crucial moment that could define Arsenal's path forward, setting the stage for the club to reclaim its place among England's elite. Eberechi Eze's price skyrockets as Arsenal and Andrea Berta navigate £67 million release clause dilemma. Arsenal's pursuit of Eberechi Eze is heating up, and so is his price tag. While the midfielder's £67.5 million release clause sets a formal benchmark, it's far from the full story. As always in football, a player's true worth comes down to one simple question: how much is a club willing to pay? What makes Eze so valuable isn't just the stats, the goals, assists, or electric dribbles, but the unique spark he brings to the pitch. Crystal Palace knows this better than anyone. To them, Ease isn't just another player. He's their talisman, their game changer. That emotional and tactical importance carries weight, and it drives the negotiation. Comparing transfer fees across the board doesn't work here, not when a player means this much to his current club. Transfers within the Premier League come with their own inflation. You're not just buying talent, you're weakening a rival. Add to that the financial muscle Premier League clubs have, and it's clear why domestic deals often come with a premium. For Arsenal, the £67.5 million clause is a reference point, not a rulebook. They've shown before that they're open to flexible payment structures if it gets the deal done. Whether it's a lower initial fee or higher performance-based add-ons, creative financing can help ease the burden of big money moves. We've seen this play out already. Just look at how Arsenal structured their deal for Martin Zubimendi. The Gunners ended up agreeing to a package nearly £9 million above his clause, but avoided a massive upfront payment. A similar approach could unlock a deal for Ease. Talks are ongoing, and even though his clause technically expires before the Premier League season begins in less than 2 weeks, the deadline isn't expected to derail negotiations. Internally, Arsenal have their own valuation of Ease. Palace, meanwhile, are reportedly looking for £35 million upfront, a demand that sets the tone for how the conversation unfolds. As likely the final marquee signing of the summer window for Arsenal, there's still time to make it work. And with past negotiations, like Eddie Nketiah's potential move last summer, there's already a working relationship between the clubs, a useful advantage. The real question now is, how far is Arsenal willing to go? What is Ease worth to them? And how much is he worth to Palace? The release clause may be a key milestone, but it doesn't have to be the final word. Transfermarkt values Ease at around £48 million, a figure that, frankly, feels conservative. His rise has been steady and impressive, from dominating the Championship with QPR to seamlessly stepping into the Premier League spotlight. He's grown year after year, built a dynamic partnership with Michael Analyses, filled the void left by major departures, and become Palace's undisputed star. Now 27, he's an FA Cup winner, an England international, and a player still on the rise. How do you put a price on all that? Andrea Berta's challenge is to find that balance, managing not just numbers, but timing, expectations, and strategy. Creativity will be key. Convincing Palace, and Ease, will take more than just a big offer. It will take vision, patience, and a willingness to push boundaries. Because players like Ease don't come around often. And when they do, the question becomes, how badly do you want him? This situation is already sending ripples through the Premier League, and beyond. Eberechi Ease has become one of the most talked about names in this summer window, with fans, pundits, and analysts alike recognizing the potential impact of a move to Arsenal. His addition would not only bolster Mikel Arteta's attacking options but also send a strong message. Arsenal aren't just building for now, they're building to dominate. Inside the club, Ease is seen as the kind of player who can unlock low blocks, thrive under pressure, and add unpredictability in tight matches, all qualities that proved costly in last season's title race. While the Gunners fell just short of toppling Manchester City, it was clear that moments of individual brilliance were sometimes missing when the margins were razor-thin. Ease offers exactly that. From a tactical standpoint, he fits like a glove. With the flexibility to play as a number 10, a wide forward, or left-sided midfielder, he offers Arteta the kind of versatility that allows tactical rotation without sacrificing fluidity. Pairing him with the likes of Degaard, Soccer, and Rice could elevate Arsenal's attacking structure to a new level, especially in Champions League nights when ingenuity and composure matter most. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace are standing firm. Understandably so. Losing Ease would be a huge blow, especially after already fending off interest in Michael Analyses, who himself remains a target for top clubs. The club is under no pressure to sell, financially secure after careful management and past high-value transfers. For them, it's not just about the money, it's about replacing the irreplaceable. Behind the scenes, Andrea Berta, newly appointed to lead Arsenal's transfer strategy, is walking a tightrope. This is his first major test in North London, and it's a high-stakes one. He must manage expectations, stay within financial parameters, and still land a player who could define Arsenal's season. Berta has a reputation for pulling off complex deals, and his ability to creatively structure this transfer, with clauses, bonuses, and staggered payments, will be put to the test. The wider market is watching, too. If Arsenal managed to sign Ease, it could trigger a domino effect. Clubs like Chelsea, Tottenham, and even Manchester United, all of whom have admired Ease in the past, may be forced to accelerate other targets. It could also reignite bidding wars elsewhere, as mid-table Premier League clubs try to shore up their squads before the August 30th deadline. From the fan perspective, excitement is building, and so is anxiety. Many supporters feel Ease could be the missing piece in Arteta's puzzle, the final attacking boost that turns promise into silverware. But there's also the looming fear. What if it doesn't happen? And what if Palace dig in until the very last moment? Negotiations continue, but time is ticking. With just under 2 weeks until the Premier League kicks off, and Ease release clause set to expire in that same window, Arsenal must act quickly, or risk losing a player who could define not just their season, but their long-term identity. One thing is clear, this is more than a transfer. It's a statement of ambition. And how it unfolds may shape the course of the 2025-26 campaign before a single ball is kicked.